2:15 p.m. Wright and Co. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Yeah? Oh, well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot, and the police is at the department's evidence room. What's this "and the evidence room" part? Prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it. Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Can you read my thoughts? Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us. Science! You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in our evidence room, no biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing, I know it. That oil drum. Was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. It's not it at all. Stop reading my thoughts. It's just, we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her. Big word for a high school student. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? The situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Luminol? Blood's sticky stuff, you know. You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to? I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You've had an extra pair of those? Whoa. Test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? Press button to spray it on. Okay, let's find us some bloodstains. I'm not done spraying! Examine. I can see your eyes shining behind those glasses. So, this is a bloodstain. So... Emma, you're shaking. It's just... this is my first time seeing real blood. Oh no. The sticky goo that lives inside of us all. Scientific investigation in action. Okay, well, we definitely know that this is a bloodstain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. What's odd about this, scientifically? There's not very much of it, for one. And also, it's not touching the body, for 2. Those are 2 very important details, I would think. But, let's see what the game thinks. Why, the bloodstain's location, of course. It's elementary. Huh? Why is that elementary? I mean, I think that if there was a fight, you'd expect some bloodstains here. I suppose you might think that. Come on, Mr. Wright, we're all counting on you. There is something odd about it, but if it's not the location, then maybe. Maybe it's the amount of blood. I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there had to have been more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark up the floor plans when we find a bloodstain, okay? See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah. And this stuff's pretty handy, too. I saved up my allowance to buy that. Luminol testing fluid received from one very proud-looking MSK. Can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Jeez, this is just not great. So let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah, feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ha! Huh. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Star! You only trust your own eyes, huh? Not bad, you two. This day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead doesn't really get my mouth watering. But it's free! Slide to the right. Slide to the left. You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Star, but... No, it's okay. It was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right there. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that, I'm sorry. Sorry? You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear it on my honor as a detective. He stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Star? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal, when they face me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They blabbed like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I dragged the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. And before long they called me the cough-up queen. Now in here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go? Or fired? I felt that I had my dream job when I became an investigator. And if the prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. SL9? What? Doesn't mean... Interesting. Oh. Guzman's note has been turned around. What do you think about... this? Nope. This? What do you think about this? The SO9 incident. It's written on the knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know. Really. That knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal at the very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. No, you couldn't have. Even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime. Rushed toward the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. Hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes were the problem, Miss Star, you lying was. Listen, little girl, I had my testimony disregarded before. And I wasn't going to have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time? could you take a look at this? You said that you wanted some hot tea. Delicious tea. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to him. Disposable. Disposable to who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence, not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence, of a sort. Made up evidence. What? You mean, they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen. Others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those. Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be? Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There is another side to that case, a hidden one. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell. There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends. Boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Starr's old boyfriends. How many does she have, anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, Rookie? What? It seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes. Then you should take this. At Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Steak lunch received from Miss Starr. Miss Starr? Officer Marshall, is he your, are you his? Are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. Officer. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Oh, it's lunch. Let's see... Ingredients? Meat. She must mean beef. She probably just wrote it generically. Yeah, let's hope so. Of course, as a scientist, I have to check what additive she used. Go to town. It says here, hours of sweat and labor. So that's why the sauce is so salty. Totally legit lunchboxes. My mouth is watering. I can almost hear the sound of steak frying on the grill. No doubt it's all cold and tough up by now. I'm sure it's delicious. Miss Starr poured her heart into making this, hours of sweat and labor. So long as she didn't put any other organs in there. You'll give that to Jake like I asked, won't you? You and up, yep. Lad. Don't have a spray button. Dead body rope. Can't just go look at the muffler. No. Detective in charge of the case of the victim. La la la. Button. Barrels. Why is this door locked? Like a door. Still locked. Famous oil drum. The time with the present, I'll try to kick it over myself. Hey, yeah. That's okay, don't cry. Lana must be... That Lana Sky was one strong woman. Sure. The divider. Sure helped us knock a hole in that testimony today. Come to think of it, this divider helped our case more than the actual witness. The Great Divider. A chip off the old parking block. She made a face and then the text box disappeared. I'm assuming she was taken out by her own pun. Let's bother Edgeworth. Place is as classy today as it was yesterday. And I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigations. I hope that's what he's doing. Huh? I guess we'll have to come back. Or we can check it for blood. Maybe the frills are hiding his secret vampireness. Chessboard. I mean, I believe it for Von Karma. Look at that guy. Yeah, I'm not gonna find anything. Hey, you wanna talk? Disguising questioning. Hope the detectives aren't yelling at her. How'd you kill him in two places at the same time? Can you imagine? How's she supposed to answer that? Wait a second. Did Mr. Gant say they'd arrested a suspect in the police department murder? Let's come back later. Hello? This guard monitors the visitor's room. One murder at the prosecutor's office, one at the police department. He must be frozen with fear, thinking he might be next. Don't scare the poor guy. I think he's fine. Police station, criminal affairs. Everyone looks so serious. There was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police station. Yeah, but the same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. Makes my head hurt. Well, first things first, let's go check out the police department crime scene. Yeah, you sound dead set on investigating. But don't mess up or we could wind up dead. I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. It doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. The chief of detectives. He's glued to his computer screen. What? Detective killed in the evidence room. Tell no one outside the police department. No, I told that old lady at the restaurant everything. That one's getting at the motion. So this is the police mascot, right? The Blue Badger, the future star of the police force. The design's a little changed from the one outside. Ah, well, the Dancing Blue Badger trademark is still under development, you see. You have it trademarked? Absolutely. It's cutting-edge stuff, very now. I showed this doll here to my daughter and she burst into tears. Don't show her the moving mock-up outside, you'll give her nightmares. Police department entrance. Even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense, the detective did get killed here after all. So, the evidence room, the scene of the crime? according to the pamphlet we got at the front desk. Here it is. It's like a kid at an amusement park. A real crime scene. Let's go take a look. Right. I think I have an idea who might be in here. February 23rd, evidence room entrance guard station. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door is the evidence room, the scene of the crime. Sure seems that way. Oh. What's wrong? It's those cacti, they're so prickly. So imposing. It's hard to think straight. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where's the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. Just maybe. Should we be concerned at the copious amounts of alcohol? There's a security guard uniform hanging here. It's more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. Leather jacket, leather pants, leather... What's that called again? Punchy? Punchy? Ah, wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. Just copious amounts of alcohol. Looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It's recording. Bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there. Sure are prickly. They must be the real deal. I think just one big one would be sufficient. Cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her. She's very sharp. I'm not so sure I see the resemblance. It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. This swinging door makes this place look like saloon, yeehaw! But it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went in through here, the cactus would fall over. I'd say it'd be more of a yarg. Cactus. Tiny cactus. Alcohol. Texas. Oh, he's got a trap set up. Look on the floor. A lasso. Huh. Looks like it's set up to trap something. A trap? Here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed. You have an active imagination. Video feed, blah 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 blah. Tiny chair, stuff over there, things, stuff. The evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it'd be open? I think we need someone's permission to go in there first. Or... we use this ID card. Let me use the ID card. Please? No? I'm not allowed? Well, shit. Alright, so... I guess I'll move somewhere else. Mosey on outside. Charged with frantic energy. Please. Wasn't that? One steak lunch, please. Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. No time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. He's very hungry. But I really need a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. Oh no! His gumshoe heart is gumshoe breaking. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now is no time for despair. We've caught a criminal. Now we just need evidence. The criminal, you mean You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Standing around here talking isn't gonna fill my belly. Wait, don't leave. You wanna know more? Head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. He ran off. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Where am I going? Do I really have to go to the Criminal Affairs Department? Spray with blood. Find Mia's death scene. You can really just go back here and ask for ideas. Still, I do feel better about things. A little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Like, yeah, I guess they did. Best to not go too far down that road right now. Things will just get confusing. That. What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying. Me, a perpetrator? Oh no. I'd say I was the perpetrator against, sir. That's what I'd say. Oh no, Meekins. It's not him. Hi, greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises, yes? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. Sir, I got your report, sir. Officer Meekins. So you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman who's a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report? No, sir, how should I say this? Wait, he isn't, is he? You? Officer Meekins, you didn't, did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. What? What? Now this is an unexpected turn of events. What the fuck, man? Sir, I'm a patrolman of General Affairs, sir. Sir. Now, I can hear you fine, Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So normally there's a guard at the evidence room? That's right, sir, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now the security officer, it was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious What the heck is this guy doing? So what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red, I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask, what happened to your hand? Also, the thing you just told me doesn't match up. Because he's supposed to have died at 5:15 on that same day, in the evidence room, right? You were at Edgeworth's office. Wasn't it later that same day? Regardless, in between the time of death and now, you were not here. Or, yeah. Might I ask what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me. So I did what I could to wrap it up. A bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Sky. Got another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. Actually, no, tell me about the victim first. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as perpetrator or victim, sir, then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive, and well at that. Yes, well that's true, sir, I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So, you didn't know him. Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creatures of comforts. I don't know any detectives. So if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir. None. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. About your hand. Did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, Don't you think you should just confess? But sir, there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do. Tell the truth, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were, Then when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir. All alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? When I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared. That's some story. What do you think about this? Officer Meekins, this is for you! I'm scared of knives! It's okay, I just wanted you to take a look at it. That's it, sir, last night, that's the one. I was an apple in my dream, and I was being peeled. Second thought, you don't have to look at the knife. He's overreacting to the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. Do you think you could take a look at this? Hey! That's it! That's it! That's it! That's what... My head was a blank until this very moment. Okay. But sir, now I remember. You mean you remember what happened? Correct! That card! That card was the cause of it all. This ID card? Exactly, that's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact. I'd better pry into this one a little deeper. Take this and be exposed to nightmares. Officer Meekins, could you take a look at this? I'm sorry, but I have no idea what that is. Oh no, you don't know what the blue badger is. Ah, man. I'm an attorney. Have a look at this. Go ahead, sir. Laugh. Laugh at me, sir. Ha 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 ha. I know what you want to say. You're gonna tell me how she has one just like it. Me? Why would I? I know, sir, I know. I'm the only one without a girl with matching badges. What? Nowhere. I'm alone. All alone. Is that so wrong? Life isn't all about high school sweethearts and youthful romance. You talking about those badges on her coat? Huh. I like to think there's a difference between my badge and a fashion accessory. Yeah, like it's got a little screw on it. And the number's 626381. Why do I feel like that's gonna come in and be important? Like, it's just almost English enough. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost patrol and a lost little lamb. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman, who was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card? What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him. Do unto others before they do unto you, my own father's words, sir. Alright, baby Meekins. Yes, father, I need you to kill them. What, father? If someone is going to do something, get them first. But father, I want to be a policeman. You'll figure it out. What happened then? Well, my eyes, sir. Everything went white. When I awoke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Well, let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman. And the victim, whom he met at the scene of the crime, didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here. They told me that it had to be him, sir. Or on that day at that time. Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly. No, but the videotape is quite clear. Videotape. And the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out. It's there, it's me, it's on the tape. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm really, really sorry. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it. No thanks, I have my own. Well, I guess we better go check out the crime scene. Back to the other place. Hey, Mr. Wright, look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives' desk. It's Police Chief Grant. And you're sure this is all? You know what it means if there's anything missing. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. We checked all of his drawers, under his desk, under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. Oh, we'll scour the place again, sir. The Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Yeah, alright, my boy, how are you been? Swim much? What's with you and swimming? Oh, Chief Grant, reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this? I was wondering, could you take a look at this? Sorry, Wright. I'm through with that stuff. Go find the guy who can't seem to sit still out there, the busy one. Do you mean Gumshoe? Either him or the dancing blue badger. No one cares about the blue badger. I'm an attorney. I was wondering, could you take a look at this? Oh, he doesn't care. Weird, he talks about Gumshoe. I'm just gonna go down the line, see if anything changes. Knife! I don't think he's gonna give me anything. Parking slip? Goodman's autopsy report. A note. Phone. Parking lot. Picture. Shoe. Knife. I got nothing. Luminol. Lunch. He doesn't even care about lunch. Is Edgeworth gonna be okay? Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year. You mean the incident on Gourd Lake? It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right? On karma. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court, you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong, he did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? Downright odd, I tell you, the detective getting killed on their turf, too. There, being the prosecutors, I mean. Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, Wright, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, but it's a little sensitive, and I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets, I can't stand them. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the chief of detectives trapped shut. Ah, he was the one you were picking on earlier? Huh? You saw that? Ah, whoops. I wonder what it was that he wanted the chief of detectives to do. Let's see if we can kinda discreetly ask him. Oh, sorry you had to see that. What exactly did the chief of police want you to do? Well, see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So nothing belonging to good Detective Goodman is still here? Of course not. Well, except for this. What? You kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. You didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it's February 21st. Better make a note of that. Goodman's lost item report added to court record. Half-written document dated 2/21 can only be submitted to the chief of police. I should really get back to investigating this police department crime scene. Does that mean that he'd take it away from me? Weird. 5-9, but not 9-7? Doesn't remember? I don't know. Let's do something dumb. Could you take a look at this? Alright. Your loss. But the guard station's still unoccupied. Now I'm confused. How you doing, Blue Badger? Give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's dancing. Taking off. The whole police department has been dancing around like crazy since yesterday. Can I take out his batteries? I just can't help but feel it's going to do something naughty. He's the Blue Badger. He's fine. Do you know where he went? Because I can't seem to find him. Back to Edgeworth? Back to Underground? Back to Wright & Co? Well, where should we begin? Isn't it obvious? We should begin with that thing. The mystery of the victim, I guess? How could one man, Detective Goodman, be killed in two places simultaneously? Oh, well, you see, we should go to the police department. Evidence room, was it? I'm not being very useful here, am I? No, you're being very helpful. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumors? You were even in the defendant's chair just this past December. There was that business with him not reading the officer's report. And about the killing at the police department, right? Chief of police was right about that. I can't help but think someone at the police department doesn't like Edgeworth. I'm confused. Why isn't he showing up? Detectives' desks. All of the detectives' desks. That guy. The killer used a cassette tape. He's writing a novel. Weird that the evidence room isn't where it used to be. Cactus. Oh. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. I never thought the day would come when Wright asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. Blink. Blink. Now, righto. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow 50 bucks, I'd give them 50 bucks, no problem. So go ahead. Investigate that room to your heart's content, and knock yourself out. It just goes to show you never know until you ask. And for you here, you can borrow this. Huh? Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir, it's an honor. You just run along and do your best now. Later, folks. Looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir, because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir. I think this place is a bad influence on the girl. Losing her shit. Okay. Hi, I'm just trying to get places, and I'm forgetting how to navigate. Still not here. Evidence room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Grant. Just walk in. It won't open. The card reader's turned off, see? What is that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Oh well, what's made my Bambina skies so gray? Officer Marshall? Why does it have to be him? I wonder. What's that why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. It kinda is. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw, that card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw? Well, what are you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. The crime scene's awaiting. Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy, then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres. What if we just talk anyway? I was wondering if we could talk to you. Sorry, Bambina, but I'm off to roam the lands, like a tumbleweed on the wide prairie. Like a gunslinger loading a six-shooter, I say a little prayer. I'm so hungry. What's that all about, Mr. Wright? I think he was just too hungry to talk. You're just saying that because his stomach was growling. You have no idea what he was talking about either. In any case, we need to get cracking on this investigation pronto. I was wondering if we could talk to you. Sorry, Bambina. My tummy hurt. On a scale of I want some more. How's this? That smell reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. This is for my baby. Yeah, Miss Starr. What's this? What? What's wrong? Filet steak lunch. I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means. Steak lunch given to Officer Marshall. Alright, Bambina, you win. Ask me for anything, smack. Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. Oh, that poor little doggy. Poor guy. I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, it might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. Nope, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here, anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take the machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli when they sneak in next to your steak, you know? Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it, anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened. There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The day of our case. That's right. The evidence transferals. Edgeworth was talking about the transferals too. I know that maybe 2 of the machines in here. I know what maybe 2 of the machines... Me too, computer bad. Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well... I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of the tapes? I reckon they may be. You're the security guard, and you reckon? One more thing. When you go in the evidence room, you need an ID card. That's the card reader by the door. The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. 7777777. So this is the ID card reader. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambina, I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before. I saw a big-ass text box in the way. Maybe there's some way I can prove that record is tied to the stabbing. Sorry, but could you explain what this whole transferal thing's about? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They're kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years, so we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault of the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. You see now, transferal's like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever, dead. Never to be reopened again, never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago. See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot. The number on this is 584-2189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again. 584-2189, followed closely by 4 something. Is it the same one as above it? I can't tell. Look, the 4th number is a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world. So, when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room? But wait, what did Officer Meekin say? Sarah entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. He had his ID card then. Why would he have pointed a knife at Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. ID card record added to the court record. Got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. Someone might be able to recognize the number. Look at it. Only one of these has a name? What? Or is that just the ones that we know? I'm gonna say it's just the ones that we know. Well, you have an ID card. Sheriffs back at the Wild West didn't place much faith in that god. About the only thing they trusted was their shooting hand. This is neither Wild nor West. Yeah, but that and this are 2 entirely different things. I guess so. What? Looks like we need some evidence. Knife? Knife gives nothing, even though it's SL9. Weird. You know it's related to SL9 at this point in time. One stabbing. This one's got knife. Or this one's got blood on knife. Weird. Could go inside, but I want to see if I can find anyone outside first. Or at least I can get maybe Meekin's number. How the fuck do I navigate? Could you take a look at this? You couldn't even tell me what your fucking ID is? God damn it, Meekins. If you're on this list, it'd be able to show us who did what, when, and where. At the very least, inside that room. You're saying you are in there. I'm going to have to assume that your ID card number is 4989596. If it's not, you have a problem. Guess that's someone immediately before and after the victim. Ah. I'll take the free tea. I don't know, she might have a badge number. Edgeworth's still away. Very disappointed in Meekins. He was really supposed to tell me his number. Evidence room, Sector 3. It's quiet. Investigation must be over here. Be over here. So this is the evidence room? It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Hey, Gumshoe. Wow. Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. Gumshoe's full of life. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So is it true what I heard? Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give him $50. No problem. Go ahead. Investigate the room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out. Yeah, it's true. So, Chief of Police Gann. Will loan anyone $50? Even me? So that's what you were talking about. My man needs lunch. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Boss for a day? But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Evidence scene of the stabbing of a detective at the PD. Evidence floor plans. Okay, let me look at that real quick, and then I will ask you for if you're on this thing, or if you know who's on this thing. Which, I mean, maybe. Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa! What is it? That second number. It's not your ID number, is it, Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth. What? Second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. Why do you have that memorized? What? Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? 8730579. But who's all sevens and who's this one that was in here twice? So, Detective Gumshoe, your boss for the day? That's right, it's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here, in the police department. But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation again. I'm adamant, though. Gonna take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Gumshoe? Of course. I am a detective after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open? I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth, no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee right now, right? Trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning and end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case. The place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker's fixed so that only one detective can open it. Using their ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my third card since entering the force already. Gumshoe. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint? Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. Deep. So the only locker we can open is our own. Funny, they look like normal lockers. These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles? On the other side of the handle is the sensor. And if the wrong person touches it, you get a shock. That's what happened. My hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people in the force who don't know about the fingerprint locks. Evidence locker added to the court record. Only the assigned detective's prints can open it. Indicator lamps light up when it's open. Interesting. Ask the victim, Detective Goodman's ID card. He says everything's cards and secret numbers, I can never relax. It's only because you always lose a card. I always forget my secret number too. Scary, huh? A face should be ID enough. What's the world coming to? Detective Gumshoe, rebel against the system. Well, this helps. Alright, Gumshoe, I'm gonna look around. Car door. Look at this big pile of junk in the corner. That looks like a car door. There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame. Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away? That's one of those human profiles retired for range testing. He's been shot square in the forehead. Better him than us. Place is stuffed with evidence, stuffed with dreams. I'm not so sure about the dreams part. Huh. It won't open. Did you really think it would? Hey pal, our security is high-tech around here. Each one has to be checked? Nope, okay. This one's special. It's got a thing at the side. Something sticking out of here. Looks like a shirt. Guess it must be evidence for some case. I wonder if Gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. Not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was open recently. How do you know? If he leaves these hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him braving down my neck about some silly evidence? Sounds like Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot too. I bet he doesn't tuck in his shirt under that trench coat either. If you're gonna talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal. Be nice if I could look at it. The metal detector. Some sort of bulky equipment's gathering dust here. What a sorry-looking fishing pole that is. That's Gumshoe's fishing pole! Huh, that's my personal pole. Never did get around to using it. Wait, I've seen that somewhere before. Right, pal, that metal detector. The one that led to the solving of that case out on Gort Lake, remember? Alright. That feels like it was ages ago. And I don't think I've seen this one before. Look at that, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it'll come in handy in solving some case sooner or later. A cheap-looking box? Can't judge a person or a machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart. Hey, Gumshoe, can we have the bug box? Just, no, okay, we'll talk later. Paint. Evidence locker's bloody handprint. Things, more paint. Lots of paint. Lock, 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 check, 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 check. It's open, and the red indicator light above the door is lit. The locker scattered Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Detective Goodman's locker. Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that? Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. Someone left a glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. Stop it! Gumshoe's your friend. That's evidence from the case, you know? You mean SL9? It does have a tag on it. Extremely thin rubber glove. Gotta do this. That looks a little weird. Tag says SL911. Guess this is another piece of evidence from that case. You know, I never did care for the word tag, it's confusing. Huh? What's so confusing about that? You know how many other words sound like it? Bag, gag, nag, lag, zag. Jag? Jag? Is that zag or zag? Is that a word? Do you challenge me? What, are we playing a word game now? Jag? Dag? I don't know. The X's are weird. Someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Stop blaming Gumshoe, Phoenix. It's apparently from that case. That case? SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces here? Another piece of SL9 evidence. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it was broke. You wanna try to put it back together? Heh, good luck, pal. There's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. Oh no! Oh no, what is this nonsense? Shit. Alright. Well, that looks like it goes there. Now we got to rotate things. We do not judge Gumshoe for his lack of pottery skills. Obviously the top is wider. That could go there. Seamless. I have no idea what this little thing's doing. Oh, that's a lot to go off of. We're missing a shard. Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far too. In 2 minutes myself. The problem's finishing it. Were some pieces stolen? Bet they were missing to begin with. Still. Doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. Kinda understand how it got broken. Jar pieced back together from fragments found at the crime scene. A piece is missing. Nah, it doesn't fit. Paint. What's the solid paint doing here? It's the dawn of time. True art has always been a war against oppression. True art? I noticed that there's blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger. Well, you might say this is my studio. Here? In the evidence room? Why? Put these pieces together, it makes a jar. There are two things that bother me. One, why are some of the pieces missing? Two, doesn't it seem a little unstable? I wonder it broke. I'll make sure to remember that next time I make a jar. Glove. Stuff. Done. Slide over here. Slide back over here. Nothing's jumping out. Oh, yep, handprint. I almost forgot. What's this? Blood. It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright, what if there are other bloodstains left in the room? We should use her testing fluid to check it out. I don't know how. Options? Oh. Do I just... Oh. It's got a thingy. Someone used a marker to write their name on this. MS Sky. Don't tell me you bring this with you everywhere you go. Well, you never know where something might go down. Just what kind of world do you think we live in? One where she can test things with fluid. There it is. Has a spray button. Wow. Everywhere. Reveal the blood. What? Why didn't you examine it? And it disappeared. Okay. A little awkward, but fine. Must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, detective? Huh. Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien. This proves that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plans. Hey, if you don't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked. It's bright blue. Slide. Spray, 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 spray. Sorry. Blood pool. There's no blood anywhere else? Really? Seems a little weird. Now I know that the button for spraying things is actually in this thing. Which is troubling. This is someone's right handprint. What? What's the matter, detective? It's locker, it's mine. Yours? Please. You have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. Count on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. God damn it, Gumshoe. What? You're a detective. You're not supposed to say that, my dude. Why is there blood on your locker, Gumshoe? Fine, I guess I'll slide over. No, it's nothing there. Okay, fine, whatever. Blood. Slightly more blood. Well, I mean... I guess we're just gonna... do a quick once-over of, everywhere. This might be a mouse job. It is not. Kinda is. Yeah, this might be slightly faster, but it's definitely less thorough. Okay, we need to go find more blood. Blue badger's clean. Something's weird somewhere. I was really hoping there was some on the statue. I feel like the fact it's all broken is important. Literally it. Back to spraying. Give it a slide. Ahaha! This blood must be from when Lana. No, my sister isn't the murderer. But she did call you, didn't she? At the time of the crime? And her right hand is bandaged. Hey, just whose side are you on? Has nothing to do with taking sides. So this means that Lana's right hand had blood on it. This just keeps getting worse. Quick and dirty check. Goodbye! I'm confused. We should be in the next part of this by now. What am I missing? Gumshoe obviously has another thing, but what I need to present something to him. What do I need to present to him? Because 3 isn't normally where they leave you at. They normally go straight to 4. Or to 4, anyway. I'm an attorney! Damn it. ID card. Already done this. Trophy. That's it. That's the King of Prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth got the other day. Were you at the award ceremony, Gumshoe? Of course, pal. Got an award for diligence myself. Ah, congratulations. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. I've already had this conversation with him. No. The jar. I know nothing about the jar. That glove. I know nothing about the glove. That thing. Police department lacks faith in its lock system. Detective Goodman was stabbed here after opening his locker. But at the same time he was found dead over the prosecutor's office. Note that knife. But Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. Because of the SL9 connection. That was Mr. Edgeworth's very first case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. Why would evidence from that case turn up now? Guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. There we go. So what about SL9? And that was a bloody violent case. Violent, so it was a murder. Serial killing. Serial killing? Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. The killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. And this was 2 years ago? That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight. And started the rumor mill. Rumors about forged evidence. It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is. What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see? So, that knife... The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? No. Don't have anywhere else to go. Don't know what to do. I'm confused. I'm scared. The Badger of the Blue. A crowning achievement. A masterpiece. Art's always misunderstood, pal. Art? He was dancing proudly on the day of the award ceremony. But there were lots of people coming and going after the ceremony. So they took the Blue Badger away for a while. Really? Why? They said it was shameful or something like that. Oh, shameful. I told her night and day. I sympathize with Detective Gumshoe, but I can see why they moved it. But where'd they move it to? Time thing knife. Why would drive Chief Prosecutor Sky to do such a thing? I didn't mean, sure, of course, someone else really did it. Someone who must have a grudge against Edgeworth. Knife. Gumshoe, I don't know what to do. I'm confused. I've examined everything. Normally we just kind of fast forward from here. I don't think I really have anything, though. Can you help out? History of the victim, how can one man be killed in 2 plus blah blah blah. The evidence room. Blah blah blah. don't know what to do. I kinda just want there to be an Easter egg, I'll be honest. Don't see anything. Fuck. Don't have anything else to say. Check those things, check those things. Scan for blood, I guess. 'Cause screw it. I doubt it'd be here. You always gotta check out the stuffed dolls. If and when they decide to betray you. You'll know about it. Is this handprint match that handprint? Is that gonna come up later? Everybody in here is so busy. Sure have a lot of monitors. There's 8 cameras in the evidence room and all. One for each section. Which monitor shows the section where the crime took place? Why the cattle sit before the rain comes. It's not for a man to know. Unless you're the security guard responsible. We don't have any tape. How do I get the tape? I'm so confused. Cactus sure is prickly. Must be real. Just keep your distance from Billy there. You're liable to get hurt. Billy, the cactus has a name. Billy, you're wearing your cowboy hat on your hand. I'm a rawhide cowskin 10-gallon hat. I just picked that up, but Billy took a fancy to it. Looks like it got stuck on the spines and he couldn't get it off. Look at the swinging door. Ah, sorry partner, but we're closed for today. Huh? Y'all get along home now. I think Officer Marshall really wanted to be a Wild West bartender. I always wanted to say that. Leather jacket? Those aren't pants. Those are chaps. That's a poncho up there. Aha! Poncho! It sure looks cool, but the name is a little silly. Why you don't give camera feed? I don't know what to do. The wooden room is beyond that door. I turned on the card reader. Got yourself a ball. I got the ID card. What am I missing? Hey look, they're hard to make out, but there are some dark red stains here. Looks like blood. You think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on this when he was stabbed? Not likely. This blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. This jar was evidence in the SL9 incident. That might be when the blood got on it. Gotta have some sort of a thing. And then we'll be good. But I don't know what. SL9, SL9, bloodied face, I don't know what to do. Come sure help me. Gotten hardcore stuck and I'm not happy about it. Is there a way to match the handprint? Any way, shape, form, fashion? I don't know. I'm very confused. What have I even fucking not done? Hmm. Go with the Jew. I don't know. It's gonna go everywhere. Later, Gumshoe. Something pops up, that's it. Edgeworth in his office yet? No. Ah. I'm very confused right now. There's no blood on the badger, right? Check that, right? Seemed to be important that things were suddenly showing up bloody. What the fuck did I miss? I checked this part of the room out. Thought I did. Oh, shit. Well, I'll take it. Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. It just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What, this? Called luminal testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow 50 bucks from the chief. Where did you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. I'd better jot this down on the floor plans. Hey pal, look at the time. Was there something you needed to be going to? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. Gonna give him my report for the day. Looks like a restaurant. With a very flamboyant chef. Might help, you know? Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? One that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. Gumshoe's great. Probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too. But whose locker is this? Piece of white cloth sticking out. Like a shirt. Better tidy it up or it'll get wrinkled. Look at me, I didn't leave it hanging. Someone looks like they've shoved something in there, but whose locker is it? Is there not a number up top? Nothing? That's the door we came through. Looks like you don't need an ID card to get out. I wonder what would happen if Officer Marshall cut the power while we were inside. Let's hope he remembers we're in here. Now we go to the High Prosecutor's office. Hello there. Ah, guests. My apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Yes. A second case? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. You don't look happy. Right. Yes, the hotel bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Ah, yes, he brought me the latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, I think this whole thing's really taking a toll on him. What do I have to present to you? I'm an attorney! Edgeworth can absolutely help us out. He's done it before, he'll do it again. Oh yeah, that might actually matter. Alright, I'd better check this now. As I was saying, Huh? What's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go, by Chief Gant no less. The Chief of Police? He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The Chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. Better make a note of it. Screwdriver. Evidence from a past case of Edgeworth's, brought back to his office by Gant's request. Stubborn as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. Well yeah, but I guess I'm physically holding this in some way, shape, form, or fashion, because now I can look at it. It's a screwdriver. Tag says AI-16. What's that got to do with anything? Nothing, apparently. At least that's what Edgeworth said. That makes it seem all the more suspicious. Who knows? This might turn out to be the clue that breaks the case. Wouldn't that be nice? Meow. I have so many clues. So, how'd the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However, something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes, any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you? Why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. Done nothing. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still, I've never seen him this out of sorts. What do you think about this? What do you think about this jar? This glove? This evidence locker. This floor plan. This ID card record. Oh, nope. Blah 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 blah. This is how I get the screwdriver. This lost item report. This luminol testing fluid. This switchblade knife. Ah, no! It had a thing! I'm gonna have to redo this! This switchblade knife. I know you. You probably got a hold of some information already, right? It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident? And some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in? You were the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. He must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant. That wacky old coot was involved in this case and the case 2 years ago too then. He was a top officer and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is, why was a deputy chief of police on the investigation? In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't? Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I'll do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? What? You were still studying forensic science? Yeah, of course. Why, just today Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminol testing fluid, huh? Well then. You might have used for this. Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints. It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. For me? Are you sure? We're the enemy, you know. I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. I'm like giving these to Gumshoe. Covers fingerprints from handprints for comparison with fingerprint file. Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. There's a couple, actually. Okay. Thanks, Edgy. Well, I have it now, so I may as well play with it, right? It's a big puffball. Nothing to look at and read? Okay, fine. Is there a use option? What? There's not? Nothing? I wanna look at the blue badger. God damn it. I wanna see whose handprint that is. Oh no, it's moving again. What have I done? Really weird that I can't just use that like the luminol thing. They've already made the mechanic for it. Oh, it looks like Marshall's moved somewhere. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, in this blood on the detective's evidence locker. Let's use a secret weapon. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. Finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. Let's choose the finger that will have left the clearest print. I really can't tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. Is it thumb a finger? It's like one of these two, obviously. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. I'm starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First, we sprinkle the powder around. Huh? How do you do that? With button, see? Ah, it looks like that did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? With E. Exciting, I know. Oh yeah, this was made for a DS. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake, see? That looks like fun. Might take some getting used to, though. It's fine. It won't go up your nose or anything. Just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. Guess I better give it a try. Just Just pour the entire container onto the object. Press the blow button. Perfect. Looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What's it mean? I think this means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left his handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. While we're here, while we're at it, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door again closely. It seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. See if we can find a clear one. Fingerprints outside of the blood. These right here. Patter, 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 patter. Blue. Patter, 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 patter. Blue. Patter, patter, how much more you want? Fine, let's go for it. Clean. Yay, a print so clear it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet? This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? Guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth. And point out the person you think left these prints. How am I supposed to know who it was? I could make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprint are in different places, right? That means that the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So whose fingerprint would we most likely find on this evidence locker? Gumshoe. Oh god. I just want to look at all the fingerprints. See if anybody's got weird ones. That's a little weird. Compared to Gumshoe, anyway. Comparing. Finding criteria. 16 things done. Comparison complete. Match found. Aha. So these prints belong to the... Why does he look so mad? To Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look. Yes, that's probably because I was thinking so what. Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. Gotta roll the punches. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. Slide to the left. This is where we got a luminol reaction, right? Right, there was a handprint here. Okay, wanna try using this? Checked for prints. But I want to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. So... handle. Right? I don't know what I'm looking for. Dusting does nothing. Oh, the area where there were still handprints that we didn't sketch them. I'm just going dust. Dust real fast. And there we go. No. Wasn't done yet. Damn it. I hit it back instead of blue. Go, mouse. You brave creature, you that likes to click really fast. I think we've got it. Edgeworth isn't expecting to get any of this back, is he? Just coat the entire fucking thing in aluminum. Alright. Now that you mention it. They got that same really long swirl in the center. They're just off-center. That's fine. This actually looks like it. So why is Marshall's handprint on the thingy? Hey, these fingerprints, whose are they? Whose? Is this someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall. Marshall's fingerprints. That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma, this is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. Luminal reaction. The blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. We have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a white bloodstain. It's also entirely possible he cut himself shaving. But why would Officer Marshall? Looks like our investigation's finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. It's also not that decisive, I'll be honest. It's actually kinda crappy. To be continued. That was a really long investigation.